since I'm being forced to tell you this, let me get it over with. So my spirit team will not allow me to sleep until I get this over with, okay? They've been nudging me for the past 3 days. Like, did you say this? Did you make the video? Did you do that? Like, please, I just want to sleep. Anyway, so it's a vision that I've started to experience back in 2020, and I have been experiencing. I get like this same vision maybe two, three, four times per year, every year since then. Okay, but it's the same thing, it doesn't change. The only thing that changes is based on the states or the city or the town that I'm in, it changes the viewpoint, it adjusts the viewpoint from there. Like, that's the only thing that changes. I travel for work, so I that's what happens. I'm in different states and stuff. Anyway, and also that I get visions that in any capacity, anyway, any style, doesn't matter. I get them when I'm sleeping, when I'm awake, when I'm in a meditative trance. Like, it doesn't matter. I get them all the time. This one in particular, though, it took place while I was sleeping, so it's very detailed, very more clear than if I were to get it while I'm awake. So it started when I'm sleeping, like my current physical body sleeping, and I dreamt that I'm sleeping in a room that I was in North Jersey. And I was just awakened by like a huge shake. It's huge. When I tell you tremendous shake, I've experienced things and I've never experienced that. It's a tremendous shake, okay? And after I experienced it, I just woke up immediately, jumped out of bed. I literally physically just hopped out of the bed and I'm looking around. I'm looking on the floor, looking at everything, like, seeing I'm still awake, I'm still alive, I'm good, like the building's good, like my room is good at least. And I'm looking around and I see things scattered on the floor. Not too much damage, but things are scattered on the floor. And then the lights went out. So after the lights went out, the first thing I did was I looked through the blinds. So I'm peeking through the blinds and I'm looking out. And mind you, the only time frame that I have of this is that it's daytime. That's the only thing. And usually in my other visions, I get some type of hint as to when something will happen, how it, like, I usually get a hint. With this, the only timing that I have is that it's daytime. And I want to put it at a range between 10 and maybe 4. And why I say 4 is because based on what I see, it's a warmer time. So it could be around like summertime or a little bit before summer or thereabout or a little bit after summer. I don't know. But it's warm. The time is warm. Based on how I was dressed in there and other people that I saw, the time is warmer. It's a warmer temperature. So when I looked out, I saw in that particular house that I'm in the front yard, there's a huge tree and it's uprooted and it fell right across the street. And this is like a huge tree. I'm not talking about something that someone could just push out of the way. I'm talking about they need people to come and cut this down for several hours to get it out of the way. There were electrical poles. Some of them were tilted, like they were broken slightly, but not completely damaged. They were still intact. Like the electrical wires were still intact. So I think that's why the power, went out for a little bit. And there were cars in the street, so many leaves, so many branches everywhere. Plenty of trees got broken, and some of them fell on rooftops. Some like houses that I saw had cracks. A lot of driveways with cracks, like damage, like real damage. Some of them you could see that there's no way a car could go in or out of that driveway at all. But that I remember that big old tree right in front of the yard just completely uprooted. And there were people coming out of their car. And I remember one lady, she was directly in front of the tree. And I'm wondering, when I saw it, I'm like, did she like literally see it happen in front of her, or did she like drive up to it? You know, I don't know, but like she was in shock. She came out and she was holding on to her door, her car door, and she was like, "Oh my God, oh my!" Like she just kept repeating that, like in shock. And it was like she was driving like either a dark blue or a black sedan, and her hair looks like reddish auburn kind of hair. That's all I remember from her, but I remember the daytime. Anyway, I walked away from the window, and because the lights were out, I went to what I have as an emergency chest. This is a chest that I don't own currently, never owned. That's the first time I'm seeing it in this vision. And in there I have emergency supplies. But emergency supplies are not new to me. I've always been a prepper in any capacity. I've always been a prepper. Like if you check my car has emergency supplies in them. But like, and in my home we have emergency supplies. Like that's just how I am, okay? But I saw a few particular items that I've never considered until I saw that vision. And since I saw them, I got them, you know? Anyway, I'll tell you that later. Anyway, the vision continues by the lights coming back on. When I was about to grab like a lantern, the lights came back on. And then when it came back on, the TV came on, and it came on the news, which is very strange. I don't watch the news, haven't watched the news since like 2012, so it's very strange. And when it came on, they were talking like this was like a New Jersey news reporter, New Jersey news channel reporting about New York City, which I'm finding strange because I'm like, we're having this disaster and you're telling me about something else in New York? Like you don't care about us, you know? It's just very odd to me, you know? Anyway, how it is that there's this female reporter, it's a white lady, short bob, no, she has a long bob, and she's reporting from the waterfront, so maybe like Hoboken area or Jersey City area, right there, you know, where you could see Manhattan in the background. But she's in New Jersey reporting about New York, and she's saying, oh, massive fires, like that's what I'm seeing across the screen. Breaking news, New York, disaster in New York. And then you see the screen change, the headlines change, massive fire in New York. And the fire is huge. It is so huge. It's the height of the skyscrapers. That's how huge the fires are. And I say fires because I don't know if like that first huge fire encountered something flammable and then became a second and a third fire, or something created those second and third fire, because I saw three. Two, the first one happened when the TV came on, but two consequentially happened while I was watching the news. And even the news reporter, she got flabbergasted. She was like so out of it. She even got red. Her face got red. And I'm like watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have family in New York City. Like I'm wondering if they're okay. And I remember I turned around to grab my phone. My phone was on the bed, and I grabbed my phone, and then the lights went out again. And I walked to the door of that room that I'm in, and just as I'm about to turn the handle of the door, I wake up. That's all I ever see. I don't know what it's like outside that room. I don't know what the building is like that I'm in. I couldn't tell you, but that's all I get. I have to make this fast because I'm running out of time, but like that's all I get. If you guys like want to talk about this more in details, I can make another video, but like that's the vision that I got. So I'm trying to get it out so I could sleep tonight and not be bothered. Okay, so maybe I'll make another video. I don't know. All right, guys.